And the bitterness, the bile, it still rises in my throat when I think of my ex-wife. When I think of that hog named Estelle. The judge, when he decided the amount of alimony and slammed down his gavel and went to retreat to his chambers, I said, Your Honor, does your decision include Vaseline from me? He stormed off. Estelle smiled smugly as she licked her lips in anticipation of that big check. And as I wrote the first one out the mail to her, I looked at it for a second. And then I said, and I shoved it in the envelope. It afforded me a little satisfaction to do that, but then I got to thinking. The next check I wrote, I went out in the backyard looking for little dog do. And I smeared just a little on there, just in the hopes that she wouldn't notice it. Maybe come down with some bacterial infection. I sent that off to her. And then I got to thinking about it. You know, maybe I'm on to something here. Maybe I got to write her the money, but maybe she won't be around to enjoy it, huh? So I got a clipboard, and I went to the nearby hospital. Blauman General. And I said, excuse me, to the lady that was on the reception desk. I said, I'm doing a report for college, and I have a health course, and one of the assignments is to go to a local hospital and categorize unique and unusual diseases. Do you have any here? And she said, well, all right, young fellow, I'll see if I can help you out. Yes, as a matter of fact. In room 222, we got some leprosy. I said, oh, really, leprosy? He said, yeah, very unusual. The guy was traveling apparently in New Guinea or something and picked it up. It's very unusual to find it in the modern world. Of course, it's completely controllable if it's found in time. Let me see, we got some anthrax over in 44B. I said, anthrax? Oh, nice. Put that down, anthrax, 44B. She said, yeah, we got some Rocky Mountain spotted fever in quarantine. I said, whoa, where's that, the quarantine lab? She said, yep. Hey, nice. She said, I said, well, you know, nice in the sense that I'll have a nice paper to write on it. You got any TB or anything? She said, yeah, we got a couple of tubercular people. I said, all right, well, thank you. You've been very helpful. She said, thank you. I waited till somebody else busied her, and I ran around to the service entrance, and I headed for room 222. I said, let me at that leprosy! Of course, I had my rubber gloves on. I ran into the guy's room. I said, excuse me, Dr. Greaseman here. Let me check your and I smeared that check right across his glistening leprositic shoulders. I said, I'll be right back. Litmus paper. Just checking you with litmus paper. It's a new technique to treat leprosy. See you later. Bye-bye. Then I went to 44B to check out the anthrax. Of course, the guy with the anthrax was sound asleep. So I thought fast, took out my pocket knife, slashed open a pillow, grabbed a feather, and tickled it under his nose. He sneezed on that bad boy, grabbing it by the corner. I ran out of the room. I said, let me see, where are we here? Oh, yes, yeah, Yellow Mountain Rocky Spotted Fever, whatever the hell it is. All right, yeah. I ran to that guy's room, grabbed a couple of tissues out of the waistband, and carefully dabbed him all over the cheek. Oh, yeah, went to the room with a TB on it, yeah. On the way out, I saw somebody walking up the hallway, big fever blister on the corner of his mouth. I said, hang on a second. Wait, I can do that. I wiped the check right across. There you go. This might help you out. I took that leprositic, herpetic, tuberculous, syphilitic, infectious, bacterial-laden, stinking junk, tackling like a madman, screaming like Lon Chaney. It's alive! It's alive! I felt pretty good with myself as I dropped it in the mailbox, cackling demonically, knowing full well they would hold it in their midst. It wasn't until I was walking away that I realized in my stupidity I had licked the envelope. Oh, no! Bad